This is the E-True Hollywood story of Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox is an extremely well-known actor of our time. Most of his work spanned from the 1980s to the 1990s. Already known for his role as Alex P. Keaton in the television series Family Ties, Fox hit stardom when he starred as Marty McFly in the Back to the Future trilogy. Fox has also starred in Teen Wolf, Bright Lights Big City, and Stuart Little. Tragically, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease in 1991, although he did not disclose this information to the public until 1998. He later went on to create the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research and continued acting. Now let's really get to know the real Michael J. Fox.
Well, I was born on June 9, 1961, and I grew up in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. My mother is Phyllis, an actress and payroll clerk. My father is William Fox, a police officer and member of the Canadian Forces. My family lived in various cities and towns across Canada because of my father's career. My family finally settled in the Vancouver suburb of Burnaby, British Columbia, when my father retired in 1971.
Fox first started his career in Canadian television shows and movies.
First off, I co-starred in the Canadian TV series Leo and Me when I was about 15 years old, and when I was 18, I moved to Los Angeles to pursue an obviously full-time acting career. I was technically discovered by the producer Ronald Shedlow and made my American TV debut in the TV movie Letters from Frank, which is credited under the name Michael Fox. I wanted to continue to use that name, but when I tried to register with the Screen Actors Guild, but it doesn't allow duplicate names for some reason, I guess for credit ambiguities, I discovered that Michael Fox was already registered under that name, so of course I needed to come up with a different name. My middle name is Andrew, but I really didn't like the sound of Andrew or Andy Fox, so I decided against using my middle initial because I didn't want to fit into a Canadian stereotype, as in Michael A. Fox. I also didn't particularly like the idea of teen fan magazines referring to me as Michael, a fox, so I decided to adopt a new middle initial and eventually settled on J, in reference to actor Michael J. Pollard.
Fox moved to Los Angeles at the age of 18. After more small roles in television and movies, he got his big break in the blockbuster Back to the Future.
Well, the Family Ties producer, Gary Goldberg, felt that I was essential to the show's success, particularly with my co-star, Meredith Baxter, on maternity leave, and he refused to allow me time off to work on a film. Back to the Future was scheduled for May 1985, I think, and it was about late 1984 when they found out that I would be unable to star in the film, unfortunately. So 4 weeks into filming, the director, Zemeckis, decided that the original Marty McFly actor, Stoltz, was miscast. My schedule was opened up in January 1985 when Meredith Baxter returned to Family Ties following her pregnancy. The Back to the Future crew met with Goldberg again, who made a deal that my main priority would be Family Ties, and if a scheduling conflict arose, we would win. I loved the script and was impressed by Zemeckis and Gail's sensitivity in sacking Stoltz, because they nevertheless spoke very highly of him. I found my portrayal of Marty McFly to be very personal because all I did in high school was skateboard, chase girls, and play in bands. I even dreamed of becoming a rock star.
After a lucrative acting career, Fox unfortunately was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease at the young age of 30. He didn't release this to the public until he was 37 and made it a point to aid the efforts of the Parkinson's disease research groups, so he eventually made his own foundation for Parkinson's research. Coping with Parkinson's disease is one of the most difficult things Fox has to overcome, yet he uses his optimism to hope for the best.
I really can't overemphasize what a blow this prospect of being so unfailingly predictable was to my sense of myself as an individual. And further, if my diagnosis got out, it wouldn't be simply a matter of my employer knowing and perhaps judging me differently. No, the whole world would know. I stubbornly clung to fantasies of escape, hoping against hope that somehow, some way, my diagnosis would turn out to be a mistake. A few years later, my son's childlike willingness to accept my condition, without dwelling on all its negative implications, had a powerful influence on me. I became increasingly optimistic as I learned how to appreciate the smaller things in life. I had experienced so many highs and lows that hopefully I can inspire other people to be as positive as I am now.